Most people are left-wing. If you don't believe me, over 40 years, in 11 elections, 57% of people in the UK voted for parties that most people think are left of centre. That's a majority by a very long way. And in fact, it's such a big majority that the UK is, in many ways, the most progressive country in the whole of Europe, beating the Scandinavian countries and Germany, for example. So why is it that we end up with right-of-centre governments? Well, the left is, of course, split between the nationalists and the unionists, between those who are relatively moderate, perhaps the Liberal Democrats, and those who once upon a time were more radical. That was Labour, even if it isn't anymore. And then there are, of course, the Greens. Whereas for a long time, we've only had the Conservatives on the right wing, and therefore they won. But the truth is that is not a genuine reflection of the political will of the people of this country. The people of this country want government. They want government that works. They want governments that lay down rules. They want governments that deliver fairness. They want fair taxation. They want a society that allows everyone to prosper. They're not in favour of a market-based economy as such, although of course they all tolerate a market, but they expect the government to counter its worst effects, like sewage in rivers. And so we should be getting governments that are left of centre. But we don't. And that's, of course, because of our first-past-the-post electoral system. In the upcoming general election, Labour is going to win. Nobody doubts that. They're going to win from what is universally agreed to be a right-of-centre political position. They're not winning from the left. There is going to be the most enormous void in British politics after the 4th of July 2024. We'll have a very far-right party, and that is the Reform. We'll have a pretty far-right party, which will be the rump of the Conservatives. We'll have a centre-right party, which is Labour. And then we'll have a number of other parties, including the Liberal Democrats, the SNP, Plaid Cymru, some of the parties in Northern Ireland and the Greens, of course, all of whom will be on the left. They will become the opposition. Whether they can cooperate to actually deliver that opposition is the real question. But the even bigger question is what will happen in 2029, when Labour will, unless it changes its tune very heavily between now and then, have failed. What will those left-wing parties do then? Will they then cooperate to say, no, we will not tolerate any more of this abuse from the right, and it is time that the people of this country have a free choice to elect the governments that they really want, which are those from the centre-left? I hope they do, but that's a long-term project, and it's what I'll be working on for the next 5 years.